Hello and welcome to Divine Horses and Shoes. I'm Jason Stay Divine. You're in the round pen, so you're watching the Divine playlist. So we're starting over because we've had, I suppose I should call it a problem because that's what everybody else calls it. So talking about problems, it's dyslexic time. This is my right hand, this is my left hand. I get all that mixed up because I'm severely dyslexic, so I see the world in a completely different way to most average people. So first off, it is 5:08 in the AM on the 15th of June 2025. So that's practice, that's me stepping into adversity. Uncomfortable doing this makes me feel uncomfortable. The more I do it, the more comfortable I come, and this is what horses need to get exposed to more stuff like that to make them more comfortable. So you can see she's level-headed, she's accepting what's going on here. So the flatter they are, right, the calmer they are in their mind, right? This is boring stuff. If you're looking for quick, short fixes, accent, we're not the place. Slower you go, the faster it happens. This is all about putting a foundation into a horse on the ground that is literally missing in the British equine industry. Right, I've worked in the British equine industry for over a decade. I have over 25,000 hours working with horses on the ground, and there's a hole, there's a problem. The pattern I see is that horses in this country are not educated correctly. Why would I say that? Because being dyslexic, 55 years plus, Generation X, growing up through a time and period that's still here, stupid, idiot, and I've had to change the narrative. I'm stupidly clever, I'm idiotically clever, I think of silly ideas that are great, so I've had to change the narrative. So I've worked with horses on the ground, and one of the reasons, well, you need to go and check out the other channel. You'll find that if you go and look in the nice list bar down the bottom, and you'll hear about those sort of stories. So this is more about the horse stuff. So I'm a dyslexic horse guy that sees things very different. Right, so if you're going to come in here and grind on me and bully me in words, it just shows you're a coward because you're doing it in words. And that's another big problem in this world, this modern world. Too much is done by the written word nowadays. People are scared to actually voice up and actually scared to say what they believe. I believe in what I'm doing here. I know it works. And if you're going to grind me or my horse out, you're a bully. So let's, why did I say back to basics? So, right, first off, she needs to get her arse into order and she needs to start to listen. So we had an issue where I was using a girth that was too small for her. We had an issue with the girth, and I'm going to go into later, and she started this whole bronking thing. I was on top, I rode the bronc out, not hanging on her face, and the girth broke. Well, they were billets. You go and find that on the other channel, I believe. So saying that, bit of programming, because it's all about programming, it's all about education. So I'm going to educate you and go like, comment, share, subscribe, run and tell a friend, hit the notification button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe. It's absolutely free because that's programming. Prime example of programming. And the whole thing with the internet is patterns that goes through AI that builds an algorithm that tells you what you need to do and how you need to do it. Well, you're going to do what you need to do, aren't you? You're going to either click on or you're going to click off, or I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to show you that there's a better way, because the British equine industry needs to understand this, because they have no foundations in their horses here. And this is what I see over and over and over again. But if you're an educated person that's got all the qualifications and pieces of paper from the BHS and other horse organisations, and you're an instructor, this, that and the other, you're going to completely disagree with me. And why are you going to disagree with me? Because you don't see the world the way I see it. Because I see patterns, facts, that's facts. And if you put 100% graph up in dyslexic people, and I've been tested, I'm in the 5%, the low end of it. But I see a huge, huge hole in the industry. And that huge hole is on the ground. I'm not concerned about the riding. I'm not concerned about the destination, it's the journey, because it's me that has to handle these horses on the ground. It's me that gets run through. Right, so umbrella is just another tool. It's just another tool. It's just a tool. They're going to experience umbrellas. So horses will follow as well as lead. Right, I can feel her on the rope. Right, I have at least 3 foot. So I've got 11 foot between me and her. And anybody that says, oh, that's dangerous, you don't want to walk in front of horses, you don't trust the horses, you've got trust issues. They ain't going to blast through me on purpose, because they're thinking horses, they're not reactive horses. They get it. If I follow it and I look at it, it eventually goes away. So what I do is I put that down there and I just come back over here. Take the pressure off. So, like I said it and I say it again, when the horse gets something, right, so what we do now is we just do a bit of rope work with her, make out we're another horse, swinging our tail over, relaxed, out there thinking about the world. I'm not staring into her eyes. See, this is another thing. We're predators, they're a prey animal. So, you can see we've got a little bit of a flinch there, so let's come up here and do a bit of this. But we've got a flinch. And we don't want to make them completely dull. We want to keep some of that. So she sees how she moves her feet, so I slow down. Now she cocks her foot, so I go over with it. So now we're on the left side, so she's put me on the left side. Let's see what we've got on the right side. Come on. No, get on with it. Get. See, I made a mistake with this mare, and I didn't use the rope enough. I just used the stick and the string. So it means something, and that's where a lot of horses, if you use whips with them, they won't do anything unless you've got the whip in your hand. So now she's on the right, get on with it. Get on with it. You've got her on the right hand side. So she's driving the head down, so she's a little bit more relaxed. Now I'm going to drive her into the brolly, because I want her to look at it through her right eye. There you go. Now what I'm going to do, let her investigate it. And now I'm going to come back over here and go, right, that's all I want. And my tools, I'm just going to leave where they fall, really, because that's how it works. Not put everything back in a place. And I was listening to a story the other day, say, what side do I right? So we want to go left down and lead rope, umbrella in right. No, right hand, lead rope, umbrella in the right. But she's still shoving me on the left side. So there. So I'm going to go, here we go. Once she stops, and she's got to do it by herself. I'm not going to force it out of her. Breathe out, slow down, calm down. She's slowing. Right, she stopped, so I just take it away. Then move away from it. Does that make sense? So what I've got to do with her, I've got to go through the whole saddling process again. Because this is the thing, if you've got a horse that's got a foundation in it, like she has, you've got half a chance of sorting out trouble when it turns up. Problems, as you lot would put it. Yeah? Oh, that horse has got a problem. Right? And backing up is really beneficial, but you have to have control of the hind. So I want her on that mat, and she ain't going to go on that mat. So what we're going to do is I'm going to drive her over the mat. There. So she's walked over it, and I'm going to turn her back the other way. So she sees the umbrella, and she's going to investigate it. I'm going to leave her alone and focus on you because she's investigating it. Oh, see, but that's good. That's what we want. Well done. Go on. Right, and now I'm going to push her back over the mat. So she goes over the mat. So we disengage her. And now, once again, she's put me on the left. So obviously she's more comfortable on the left. Right? So I need to go, well, I don't want that really. I want you on the right. But you're not listening. You need to disengage your butt. You need to disengage your butt, disengage your butt, right? And then come over to the right. So we're on the right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down here, and now I'm going to turn her into the camera. Right, into you, sorry. Right, so now she's on the right. So we have to balance it up. And if you don't balance it up, you'll end up with a horse with leftitis. But you will find, if I was, well I know this, if I was to take this horse and lead her into a mountain bike, and I did it from this, like this, I'd get screamed and shouted at. Because they do everything from the left, because simple reason, bridle does up from the left, you do the girth up from the left, and it's all to do with the old school warriors getting on your horse with your sword that's on your left hip if you're right-handed, yeah. I don't know what they did if they were a left-handed knight, but if you were left-handed back in the day, I should think they would say you were a retard, I would have thought. So I've got to go through the whole saddling thing again with her. So I'm going to show you that at later dates. And it's just, if you haven't got all of this on the ground, right, and you think you're going to get it all in a saddle, you're very, very mistaken, because you've got nowhere, you have nowhere left to go, because you've got long lining and lunging. That's all you've got in this country. But I'm trying to come at something a bit different because I see that there's a huge hole. Like British Grooms Association, right, does a fantastic job, made me aware of bullying, and I felt that I was the only one that was being bullied. Bit the same as Jamie's dyslexic revolution. You know, that's made me, I don't feel so alone anymore, because I see things different. I see things very different, and that's what I'm trying to show you here. You want something different, do something different. And if you want to go win ribbons, rosettes, cups, championships, all of that, you put this in place, you're going to do it. If you don't, you're going to end up seriously hurt. Because you think you're in control. They're not mechanical. They're a living, thinking, breathing animal. They are not mechanical. And yes, I know a lot about mechanical because I've spent 20 odd years in motorsport, 27, 28 years in motorsport. And as I said, I could say, you know, like, comment, share, subscribe and that, but there you go, that's programming, right? Because that's what the algorithm wants. It's a pattern. And as I said, this is the programming, right? The more she does this pattern, the less fearful she is of it. So I'll go back, well, I'll go back this way. Well, so the release of pressure, right? The freedom The freedom is the umbrella. Right, so this could relate to trailer loading and so much. So if I put my nose under the umbrella and I investigate the umbrella, he leaves me alone. But the umbrella's going to do funny things, but she's dealing with it. In the 25,000 hours I worked with horses, I'm telling you, there's so many horses you would not even get to do this. They would not go anywhere near that umbrella. They'd freak out, and then everybody would be going, oh no, don't, you know, or they'd be having a full-on balls-on fight with them, trying to stop 500, 600, 700 kilos worth of animal bolting off, and they're trying to hang off the horse's face with a lead rope that's about 3 foot long. It's not going to work. Not going to work. You're just going to get hurt. And that's the thing. You know, I work for organisations that told me you never, ever, ever let go of a horse. If that horse starts to take, you hold on, to the point that the yard boss had lost all his front teeth because of it. And this is basic stuff. But to get this, right, so now she's done that, I'm just going to move away. To get this, you have to be able to let them go through this flight mode. So this is where I'm going to talk about mindset, right, and I'm going to move my feet while I'm doing this. So I want on my right side, so up here, and turn that, out there. Right. Good rope management. Look, it's not all scrumpled up. Right, so sympathetic nervous system in horses and humans, right? You need to go learn about sympathetic nervous system, right? And you need to go and learn about cortisol, serotonin, dopamine. And you need to learn about cortisol in horses and in human beings, and what it does to the body and how the sympathetic nervous system kicks in. If you are in the sympathetic nervous system producing cortisol, right, horses are going to pick up on that, and it's all going to start going wrong. And if you've been around horses for a bit, you will understand that sometimes things go wrong and you can't explain why. But if you see it really seriously, get up here. If you seriously analyse it, you'll probably find it was because you got anxious or you got nervous. And then that's when things start going wrong. So you see these people with this sort of nonchalant sort of attitude around horses, and they trust their horse, and they're, you know, oh, he's just doing socks things, yeah, right, horse things that horses do. But they don't make a big deal of it. They don't go, oh, that horse is, right? They go, okay, we'll just work around it. Because it's first about a partnership and a relationship, and that first starts in your head. And that is hugely, hugely important. So she's on the left side. Come on. Right, she moved, but she didn't freak out. So, sympathetic nervous system. You can see, look, it makes her a little bit, see? But I let her move, right? So if I go to her, right, disengage, and now look at it, I take it away because she acknowledged it. And as I said, I cannot emphasise enough to people about learning about your sympathetic nervous system, cortisol, serotonin, dopamine. This is one of the reasons I started with horses, because I've always suffered with anxiety. That turned into depression. I had a serious car accident and I got PTSD from when I heard horses were really good for it. And through working with horses, I've worked out about the sympathetic nervous system, because you've got this thing called the World Wide Web that can teach you that, right? And I worked out about cortisol, serotonin, dopamine, and I'm like, well, I now understand why I'm so wired all the time. Because I went through a very traumatic thing of being dyslexic. I went through a very traumatic thing of broken home. I went through a traumatic thing of my mum actually trying to kill herself 3 times. Trauma. And horses are loaded with a thing called cortisol. And if you do not allow them to move their feet and be a horse, yeah, you're going to end up in trouble. And I'm telling you, the horse is going to win, but the horse is going to be the loser, because everybody just go, that horse is dangerous, that horse is a problem, that horse is this, that horse is that. Oh, we'll just sell it on. Yeah, oh no, great horse, this, that. Because the British equine industry, full of an awful lot of bullies and an awful lot of frauds that don't know what they're doing. They think they know what they're doing because they think it all goes on their back, and it's all about, if you're not doing it right, you're like, got to work off their back. So that one, we're signing off. Thanks for checking us out. Like, comment, share, subscribe and all that. I've got to say that for the algorithm. If you're still here, I really appreciate it. If you've gone, stay lost, not mine. This is a different way of seeing things, a different way of thinking. If you want something different, do something different. Think outside the box. Don't forget to check the niceness out down the bottom. You want my help, you're going to have to voicemail me or even call me. Can't do it email, can't do it in PMs, DMs or whatever. If you email the website, you'll get to talk to Mrs. Patron. So that one, we'll catch you later. Cheers.